everybody. This is Stephanie Krupczak with the Purevant Living Podcast, Women in Wellness. With me today, I have Mariana Adi Rampreet, is a Reiki Master, yoga and meditation instructor, energy healer using other techniques other than Reiki, and is a wellness coach. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
So let's first start about how we first met.
Yeah. Do you want to say or do you want to...
Yeah, so we met actually through a women's group here in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, where I went to this accountability group, and one of your friends recommended you because I said one of my goals was to attend a Cacao Ceremony while here in Playa, and it just kind of went from there. So yeah, it worked out really nicely.
Very magical way of connecting.
Yeah,
and very unexpected as well.
Mm-hmm. And then we ended up going to a cenote as well through a friend of yours that had put that connection together too. So yeah, it was a very serendipitous day, I think.
It's all about connections in this world all the time.
It is, yeah, I think so. Yeah. And then we ended up having a group of 10 of us for the ceremony, so it was very nice. So tell us a little bit more about your work as a healer, Reiki Master, and then also performing Cacao ceremonies.
Okay, well, I started very young in the healing arts. I was probably about 16 when I was already interested in studying ancient cultures and metaphysics and all that had to do with healing. I became a vegetarian when I was very young and sort of started to get into all the wellness and the nutrition and, the well-being in general. So I started doing yoga by then. It was a long time ago, so it wasn't really very common, not as today. Like today, everybody does yoga, but back then it wasn't really common. And then I became initiated into Reiki in 2006 for the first time. And then in the years that followed, I just completed all my levels until I became a Reiki Master Teacher. So yeah, Reiki changed my life in so many ways. And then after that, I started exploring all the different techniques because always one thing leads to the next. And obviously they're all connected to your own personal work and your own story, too. Obviously, I went through a very difficult experience when I was 16. And so after that was kind of like the thing that worked as a catalyst or as a trigger for me to look for answers and try and, look for information and understand why I had been through that and all that. So that one thing led to the next, and then I ended up going into... Yeah.
So for those that don't know what Reiki is, do you want to kind of go into a little bit detail of what it is?
So Reiki is basically channeling universal energy through your crown chakra. So when you go through a Reiki initiation, you are initiated by the master so that the master opens up the channel so that you're able to channel that energy, and then it comes through your hands. So it's a hands-on healing. So your hands begin to transmit that energy that will heal different things at different levels. So it's not only on the physical body, but also on the emotional body and the psychological body. So it works at different levels. And we all have ki or chi or prana within us, because that's actually the life force. So what Reiki is really life force that you kind of bring from the universe, so to speak, and then bring into balance or all the things that are not balanced anymore within the three bodies, right? Emotional, physical, and mental bodies. So you kind of bring them into alignment, and yeah, that's how I can explain it. So it's a hands-on healing.
No, that's really helpful, definitely.
Yeah.
And I know with the Cacao ceremony, you kind of did a combination of both.
I do.
So you had like the Cacao journey, and then you went around and kind of did a little bit of healing for everybody.
Yeah, I did an aura clearing. So clear your energy field from all disqualified energies, and then I unblock all the chakras. The chakras are the energy centers through which that energy flows. So when they are blocked because of stuck emotions or thought patterns or things like that, and then we develop this pattern that we will keep on repeating and it's usually from a programming we went through when we were kids. So it's very ingrained in the subconscious mind. So when you don't go to the root as to find why you are creating that pattern. So let's say maybe your parents told you that it was not okay to cry, and they would like tell you, oh, stop crying, stop crying. So then when that happens, then you start to, okay, so it's bad to cry and I'm not going to cry. And you block it every time you're sad or you're angry and you want to cry, you don't cry. And then you learn that pattern. And so you block that feeling and you stuff it up, and you're like, and so that creates this blockage. And when we go through energy work and we unblock those things, and then you become aware of that pattern, then you can work it out, and then you can learn a new way of dealing with those emotions, because every imbalance within the physical body comes from imbalances in the other bodies, the energy body. So when you unblock and release that, and then learn a new way of creating or developing a new pattern that is more aligned and more positive for your health, then you feel better. So every physical ailment or illness comes from emotional, or it's just stuck emotions. So that's why we get ill. And so being aware of that helps you to learn to work with your emotions, not repeat those patterns, and then you know what the root cause of that illness was. So within the years, I've developed other techniques. So I've added different tools that I've incorporated in the whole healing practice. And not only Reiki, but also, other things like massage and stuff. So I can feel where the blockages are and can work through them. So I can know where the root problem is, and then I can help the person go through that and unlearn that pattern that was subconsciously created. So yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, it really is. And I know I've heard of Reiki. I've had it once before, actually. So it's interesting that you do massage as well. I guess I haven't. That's something new to me. So it's very cool. You're kind of combining different forms of healing. And then with the cacao too.
Yeah.
So yeah, with the cacao, maybe we should talk a little bit more about that. It was really lovely, the ceremony. She kind of went into detail about the history of Mayan cacao and how it was a drink for the gods. It's very interesting.
Yeah, a little bit of a legend and history about the whole thing. So what would you like to know? How is it I started doing cacao ceremonies?
Yeah, how you started to kind of incorporate it.
Okay. Yeah. So I went through another very difficult process, as most healers do. Healers are usually very wounded, and we need to transcend that wound and work on your own healing so that you can after help other people that are going through the same things. So we usually have very tough lives and very difficult experiences that shape you into the person you actually end up becoming. And so, basically cacao for me came at a very specific and very difficult time of my life, where I ended my marriage. And so after the breakup, my heart was just broken. I was devastated. And I was, even though I had many tools to kind of come out of there, because all the healing tools I already had helped me a lot, cacao was literally the balm for my heart that I so much needed. And cacao is used to work precisely with the heart. And it's a medicine of the heart, it's the love medicine. And I got invited to Guatemala by a friend of mine who had been living in the Amazon jungle working with plant medicine. And she was going to Guatemala, and she invited me to come with her. She actually invited me to guide one of her ceremonies. She started working with cacao, so I literally came to cacao through her. And then she told me, why don't you come and join me on this trip? I'm going to go there. I'm going to meet with some shamans, and I'm going to spend the whole summer in Guatemala, and it's going to be amazing. So I think it would really help you out. You would benefit from it. I know the plant and it's amazing. And so I just felt that I needed to go. I responded to that call, and I went straight there. I didn't even think about it. And it was the most amazing journey the magical energy of that place, and so strong, and all the heart opening I experienced when I first got in contact with the plant. And then, these amazing shamans that were there, they're old and they've been working with it for so long, and they know the plant very well. And I was very lucky to be guided by them, and I got to really release a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, and stuck things that I had through this breakup. And it was just like downloads and so much information and crying and catharsis, and but then I felt so renewed. I felt so good. I was like, wow, like this is amazing. Thank you to this plant. And I started to connect with the plant energy. But then after that, obviously the shamans, the elders were like, well, okay, so now you've been there, you've completed your initiation. This has been an initiation, and you've actually healed through this with the plant. So now you are ready to go and share it with the world and share the benefits it has. And so I was like, wow. And I felt so honored. And so I was like, of course I'm going to share it, because I lived it myself. I experienced it myself, and it really helped me so much that this needs to be shared. And it's the medicine to open the heart. It's the medicine to connect with your inner wisdom. Is the energy to connect with your inner teacher, with the wisdom we all have within, and especially what really the plant taught me about love. And when I say it's the medicine of love, it's because it taught me to love myself. It taught me that love is not something I'm going to get outside. Love is something that is within me. And I have an infinite supply of love within me, and I don't need to be looking for it outside. And you cannot be expecting someone to give you the love you're not giving to yourself. You can't expect someone to love you or respect you or anything if you are not doing that for yourself. So it was a very eye-opening experience, and it was beautiful. And I cried like I've never cried before, and it was just magical. And so that's why I'm sharing it now. And then I decided to incorporate all of the healing techniques that I already had and all the tools I had, and so create a mix. So it's a very different cacao ceremony that you will experience with me, because there are many different cacao ceremonies that are beautiful, where people drink the cacao, create a sacred space, and share music and songs and prayer, and it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. But this experience is just completely different, because I work a lot with the plant medicine to help open up the person's heart to be more receptive to the healing they're gonna receive. So it's more energy healing with the help of the plant.
I like that. I really liked what you said too about how love is kind of infinite. I feel that way too. I feel like I leave bits of my heart everywhere I travel with different people. So it's just kind of an endless supply. So, and I will say too that from my experience at the cacao ceremony, it was very healing for me. It was kind of like a weight had been lifted or a release or something. So I would definitely encourage anybody to try it if you are curious. So really great time. And I also find it really unique that you prepare the cacao yourself. So you want to talk a little bit about that process to make it?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. It's just so beautiful, because you put the intention on the seeds, that love, that healing intention. Every time I'm like peeling one, like roasting, peeling, preparing, grinding. It's like I'm just like, charging them with Reiki, with music, with my intention, so that they become the best medicine they can be for the people they're gonna end up being in contact with. And it's a whole process, and it's such a ritual. The whole thing is very ritualistic, right? Like I play music and I'm singing to the cacao, and light an incense and a little candle and play some music, and I'm like doing all that. Well, it says it takes a long time to prepare.
One by one.
One by one you need to build them. But it's such a beautiful thing, and then I like to give it to people so that they can prepare it the way they like it. Most cacao ceremonies, you go, they give you the cacao and you have to drink it as it is. But I think each person is different. Each person has different tastes. So I like to just give them the cacao and then, okay, here it is. add whatever you want to add, whatever your body asks for, whatever you need, you know, to your own taste, and enjoy it, because I like it to make it to be a pleasurable experience, entirely pleasurable. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it was very nice. She had local honey, you had cayenne, you had cinnamon, you had cardamom. So it was really, really nice to kind of make it.
chili to make it go faster.
Yeah, it was really, really nice.
Vanilla, you can add anything you like.
Oh, vanilla
Anise,
too.
anything, like any spice you like. Yeah, but there are certain spices that help also for the heart and for relaxing.
Okay.
So, you know, mixing the right spices with the right amounts of,
So you
that's
said
important.
the chili also helps?
Chili helps it go faster onto your bloodstream.
Okay.
So the effect, you will start feling it way faster than if you don't put chili. That's how the ancients used to drink it, with chili and with another spice that made this red color, you know. So this one is called achiote. So it has a funny name, but so achiote, and then it's not really spicy, but it's sort of like a chili kind of thing, and then it makes it look
like
red.
The red. Okay.
But it gives a very particular flavor. But the ancients used to drink it bitter, never put honey on it.
No.
I think I add honey because honey for me is such a magical substance that the bees give us, that is full. It's like how to enjoy the sweetness of life, right? Like to taste the sweet things that life has to give us. And I like to mix that with the love of cacao. I feel the effect somehow is like more powerful or more warming and caring and loving, like that sort of sweetness. But chocolatl is the word that the ancients used to use for that. So chocolatl means bitter water. So that's where the word chocolate or chocolate comes from chocolatl. So it's interesting. There's a whole story about that.
Yeah, it's really neat. And also back to the honey, that it's very, like, a lot of health benefits to it, and like the propolis from bees, and that it is collected from all these beautiful flowers. So I can see how it is more powerful that way too.
Yeah.
Very, very unique. And she had the traditional molinillo. I wish I had one here, where it's like a wooden mixer that you roll in your hand. So it's so cool to see her make it with the hot water and like the cacao. So yeah, it's a very nice process.
Such a magical plant. So beautiful. Female loving energy, nurturing, caring, right? That's how you feel. You feel like a warm embrace. Yeah. Every time I drink cacao, I feel like that warm embrace from the mother, like, you know, the earth just giving you her love through that. The food of the gods.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So what are some of the other initiatives that you're working on?
Well, at the moment, I'm actually creating different cacao experiences, but mainly collaborations with other people, because I think right now is a time to collaborate and to cooperate with others. It's really a time to come together in community together and to create different things where you will bring your talent. And then, you know, so when we create or co-create together, then it gets a better experience. So I'm working on that. Still, I'm not going to say anything. It's going to be a surprise, but it's going to...
Okay.
And then also, well, I keep doing the healings, and I'm working on probably just coming up with a program, so wellness program that includes all the tools that I already have, so to share them with people so that they can really have a shift in their lives. They can really have the tools to create the reality they want to create, you know, to realize how powerful we are as creators, how we are not really victims of any circumstance, but we are the ones creating continuously our own reality. And how when you create consciously and you create from the heart and you create from the love energy, then your entire life shifts, and then you can create an amazing, beautiful life for yourself and the ones around you.
I like that. We're very excited to see what your new projects will bring. So
I'm sure I'll let you know.
Yeah, we'll definitely post your Instagram and your contact information for anybody that wants to maybe have a cacao ceremony if you're in the area, or future collaboration. So I know you talked a little bit about this, about your specific kind of life experience that kind of brought you on this path when you were younger?
Oh, yeah. It even made me breathe. Well, it's actually sometimes difficult to talk about it, because even though I've worked a lot on healing, that sometimes, you know, it kind of, when I don't really like to go back, but sometimes it's important to let people know, if they are going through that it's actually possible to come to the other side, and to see the light when you've been in such a place, in such a dark place. It's just a long story of abuse and you know, bullying, and then since I was little, I was always a very extremely sensitive child, and I wasn't really accepted, or I couldn't really fit in because I was different, because being sensitive and sort of psychic and stuff, that would like freak people out, so I would always be sort of pushed aside, and you know, but then also living in a family that obviously they only had certain tools, and you cannot give something you don't have, so it's very difficult when you're totally misunderstood, and they don't get who you are, and you know, so you are not really seen, you're not really accepted for who you are, you're really like they try to change you and make you fit in a mold, and then you know that you need to adapt, and you need to you know, stiff all of that in, and say, oh, I can't show who I really am, because then that makes me weird, right? And it took a lot of time and a long path of self-healing to be able to accept who I am, and to be able to accept the gifts that I have been given to help people. But before, all those things made me different, and you know, people would be like, oh, why is she crying, why is she doing that, why is she saying that? And then I would like dream and have, you know, premonitory dreams, and tell things that then they would happen, and then I would feel guilty because that happened, and then I thought, oh, maybe I caused that. And like when I was a child, I didn't really understand who I was, or why was I so sensitive, why could I feel people's feelings, why could I sense the energy in a room when I walked in and just start crying without even knowing why I was crying, or why was I angry, and when that anger wasn't mine, why would my body ache, and you know, so it's a very long way. So when you are born with those things that make you different, and then you are rejected for being different, trying to pretend to be someone you're not, to kind of fit in and sort of dim your light because you don't want to make other people feel uncomfortable or whatever. So it was a very difficult childhood, and also being in a family that don't understand anything, but also, you know, abusive relationships, violence. I mean, I went through a lot of things, and that only taught me that when you don't realize that you are not the victim, but the creator of what is happening, even if we think, oh no, I haven't chosen this, you know, life puts you in those situations so that you learn to stand up for yourself, so that you learn to set boundaries and limits, so that you learn to be assertive and say no, so that you learn, you know, it makes you stronger. So life beats you up so that you wake up, and so that you say, enough is enough. I've had enough now, and I need to stand up for myself, and I need to say no, and I need to love myself, and I need to respect myself, and I'm not going to let this person abuse me, or, you know, so it's just a whole, I mean, I'm not really going to go into details because it would be very long, but that's basically what led me there. So I went through a very difficult time when I was 16, and it's a story of abuse, and it's difficult for me to talk about it right now, but that's what really made me try to understand why had I been born there, why had I experienced what I experienced, why nobody understood who I was. Why was I not accepted for who I was? Why did I need to change who I was? And why did I need to hide, you know? So it's just many things. But I think it took many years to finally accept who I am and own it and be proud of it and use it to help others, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help people. I'm here to serve the planet and my brothers and sisters, and that's what I'm here for, and I know it now. And so all of that path of pain and suffering and rejection and all of those things was part of the things I needed to go through to be able to awaken what was inside and to be able to share it.
Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing your story. I'm sure a lot can relate, and that have gone through traumatic things in life. And it's amazing that you're able to get past it and use these tools of cacao and other sources to heal yourself, and now that you're helping other people. So yeah, I think it's important sometimes to go through difficult moments, because then you feel that pain and you want to make sure that somebody else can work through it or not experience it, or it's just amazing that you've come out in such a good place right now.
You mentioned something about vulnerability, and I would just like to mention something about that is very important. People tend to think that if they show their vulnerability, they see it as a weakness, whereas I have learned that is the total opposite. Being vulnerable is for the brave. Being vulnerable and showing your raw self and your imperfect side and your darkness, that makes you as well who you are, and embracing that darkness and integrating it and loving it, and is what really makes you heal. So we all have our challenges. We all have, every single person here has their own challenges and their own stories, and I'm sure nobody has a perfect life. But it is perfect. It can be perfect if you know how to see it, if you know how to use all of those challenges and things that come your way to actually learn the lessons you're supposed to learn, and then transcend that and then use it to become stronger, to become wiser, to become more powerful, and to really embrace who you really are. I think it's important. So if I can help other people do that, then it means I'm fulfilling my mission.
Yeah, whether you're blocking their chakras, healing their heart chakra, things of the sort. So yeah, that's amazing. I think that easier with time, I think, with wisdom and age, that you kind of start to own who you are, and you don't dim your light. That was really important too, what you said, that everybody needs to be like truly themselves and follow their passions, even if it's not traditional or what you're supposed to be doing or what you think you're supposed to be doing. So very, very important. So kind of an open-ended question here about kind of wellness. What does it mean to you? Is a term or is a lifestyle?
It's a lifestyle, for sure. So wellness to me means well-being in everything you do in your entire life. So, your mind, your emotions, your body, looking after it as a vessel that it is, that will allow you to live on this earth plane, right? So if you don't look after your vessel, then you're just feeding it the wrong food, the wrong information for your mind, the wrong emotions and stuff, and you're just putting all the toxic stuff inside instead of looking after it and taking care of it. It's just to bring yourself, wellness to me is to bring yourself back to balance with nature. To bring yourself balance with nature, and to bring yourself into that vibration where you are in a harmonic space, and when you are at peace. So to bring inner peace into your life. So for me, the whole thing is like the way I wake up, and how do I start my day? What do I put into my body? Like I have this ritual where every day I wake up and I practice my gratitude ritual. Every day is like, thank you for this and that and that and that. And when you start making a list of all the things you're grateful for, then right there, everything shifts in your mind and your day, because when we are grateful, gratitude is one of the highest vibrations there is. And so when you say, thank you for the food on my plate, thank you for the roof over my head, thank you because I am healthy, thank you because I have friends who love me, thank you because, you know, all of those tiny things, thank you for the air I'm breathing, thank you for the sunshine, that's, you know, thank you, thank you, thank you, then you immediately change into a higher vibration, and then your day will go that way. And then do some exercise, you know, give your food some healthy food, the right fuel to give you energy, you know, live food, so not dead food, you know,
Not processed food.
enzymes and you know, food that your body can recognize because it's natural. So your body, when you put an apple on your body or a banana or whatever, or some vegetables or, you know, water, or then it knows what it is because it's Mother Nature that gives it to you, right? When you put something that is completely artificial and processed, then the body's like, oh, what is this? And it doesn't really know how to break it down, how to digest it. So I think it's important to just, and then exercise, meditation, you know, and a positive attitude is important. So wellness for me is that, it's like, how do I create a better life and a healthier lifestyle for myself in which I'm going to be happy, I'm going to be fulfilled, and I'm going to be healthy in all ways, always. that's it.
I like how you said too about kind of being one with nature. And back to the cacao ceremony, we were outside and it was kind of amazing during the meditation. The wind kind of rushed up at one point, and I felt like it was very interesting how it fit with what you were talking about. And then, yeah, we like had our feet on the ground and like kind of like grounding effect there. And then we went in swimming in a cenote afterwards. So it's just very like purifying, and it was a really beautiful day. And I know you alluded to some of the kind of rituals that you do every day. You have gratitude, yoga, things like that. Are there any other wellness rituals you'd encourage listeners to try or that you do every day?
Yeah. To just give love to yourself. You know, all the love that you want to give to others and that you're looking outside in others, just give it to yourself. Nurture yourself. You know, like, what do you like doing? What do you like eating? Where do you like going? What things make you laugh and make you be happy? Just do them. That's sort of like giving love to yourself. That's what it is, right? Like, just, it's important to feed your soul, your mind, your body with the right things, and then do the things that makes you happy. Do the things that make you happy. It's really so important to follow a passion, to connect with something that makes you joyful and, you know, makes you feel bliss. Like, you need to connect with things that bring you bliss and laughter and joy. Don't forget to laugh. It's so important to laugh. It's not a joke that laughter is the best medicine. Don't take yourselves so seriously. Laugh about yourselves as well, you know. I think it's important not to forget that we were all kids once. So when you keep that inner child alive and you are able to be surprised by very simple things and to be grateful for simple things, you know, kids are always in awe. Like, oh, look at that cloud, isn't that amazing? Oh, look at the, you know, like they really like, they're always like that all the time. And we as adults, we forget those things. You get very busy with your rat race and your routine and your work and stuff. And you're like, oh, I need to work, I need to do that. And we forget to play. We forget to laugh. We forget to connect. We forget to, you know, enjoy the simple pleasures in life, like savor your fruit or your cacao, whatever it is you're eating. You know, play with your kids or your pets. Go out in nature, breathe in the air, enjoy, feel full of life. You know, all of those things are important rituals for me. Like, love yourself. That's what it means to me. Love yourself. Do the things that make you happy.
I liked what you said about kind of noticing the clouds. I feel like that's me. Maybe I have an obsession with the sky. I'm always like, oh, look at that cloud. So definitely the inner child right there. But yeah, it's important to do what you love and keep that kind of playfulness inside. It's so cool. So are there any books that you recommend?
Oh, there are so many. I wouldn't even
Maybe a couple.
finish. But I think a couple that really changed and transformed my life that are essential in your library, I would say The Power of Now. That was a book that changed my mind a long time ago. It's a very old book now. but it's so important to keep yourself present and to understand that the only real thing there is and the only real thing that exists is this moment, right here, right now. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen in a month. So there is really no way I'm going to be thinking and getting anxious about the future because it doesn't exist. And sometimes we just play scenarios in our heads and we're thinking, oh, but and I haven't done this and you are missing the most important thing that is right now. Like me talking to you, looking at you in the eyes, being present, listening to you, sharing with you. So important. What happened yesterday is gone. And tomorrow doesn't exist yet. So keep yourself present. And when I mean enjoy the simple pleasures in life, is yes, these simple pleasures. Like you made me this delicious food today that I really appreciate and I'm so grateful for. Enjoy it. Enjoy your company right now. So if you are doing everything you like and if you're living your day in the most grateful way and you literally are doing something that you know you won't regret, then you know you're in the right place and at the right time. You know you're doing things right.
Yeah.
But if you know something you're doing, saying, or thinking you're gonna regret later, then just change the course of that and go. You know, align yourself and come back to the present moment because this is the only real thing there is. So The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle's brilliant book. Another one I would really recommend is The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz. So Don Miguel Ruiz is a Mexican guy. He's the one that wrote The Four Agreements. That one, by the way, is also a great book. The Four Agreements and The Mastery of Love, both of them. So it's just amazing. But the Mastery of Love really helped me a lot. I realized like what love is, self-love. Again, love really stems from self-love. That's all we need to work on, self-love. And self-love is what it means, like to really accept yourself for who you are with shadow and all, just, and from there, when you realize that you have all that infinite amount of love to give, but that you have to start giving it to yourself first, then you're going to make other people's lives better, so The Mastery of Love is just a great book as well. He has another one, The Mastery. Well, Don Miguel Ruiz is great. He just shares wisdom about the ancient Toltecs, los Toltecas, the artists. So it's very ancient wisdom, but it's so simple, so beautiful, so profound, and so life-changing that I really recommend his books. There are many others, but maybe
we'll have those written in the notes too.
Very late, but I'll make sure I'll give you more later.
Perfect. Yeah, The Mastery of Love. A few of us women joined. We started a book club during COVID to kind of connect, and it's really amazing. I mean, I haven't even finished it yet because we're doing it like chapter by chapter and discussing it, and it breaks down kind of relationships and in your personal love and for others. It's very, very good. I was very surprised by it, so I really enjoyed it. And kind of back to what you said about living in the present and doing what you enjoy and being grateful. I think one thing that's helped me is traveling. So you might have your routine, you take the same route to work every day and you just kind of have tunnel vision. You just keep going and just doing the things and there's really no differentiation. But when you travel and everything is new to you, the smells, the sounds, the sights of everything, it really kind of puts you into the present. And then you start to notice the small things when you get back home, back to your routine. You might take a new route to work. You might try a new coffee shop. You might notice that cloud in the sky. So I really think that, that's kind of one way to get back to that place. See something new, even for a weekend. It doesn't have to be a different country. It can be just a new town. So,
and the connections you make.
Yes, oh my gosh, since being in Playa has been amazing. It's only been a month and it's been, very magical. So very great time.
The connections you make, they're just the best, right?
Definitely. So is there a personal mantra or theme song that kind of gets you to a good state of mind or brings you back to that positive mindset you want to share?
Mantra, I don't know. There are so many mantras. I always am singing mantras when driving. It really is. It's like a very lovely way to meditate for me. Okay. So I just go in the car and I play my mantras and I'm like singing, reciting, and then it's like a moving meditation that keeps me very, very happy. But a mantra or something that I would share, not really a mantra, but it's a song that is so strong for me every time I listen to it. It's called I Am Light. I Am Light is it's called.
Okay.
I'll make sure I'll send you the link so that the guys can listen to it. It's so beautiful. The lyrics are amazing. And every time I listen to that, it's just like I remember that I remember who I am, who we all are, you know. That the lyrics are so beautiful, and that really like empowers me. Like every time I'm like, it's I'm feeling like, oh, I am light, I am light, and then all the lyrics, you'll see them. I'll share it with you. And yeah, that one, just to remember who you really are, is important. And yeah, gratitude is like the main thing. Gratitude, and remembering who you are. That's the most important thing.
Those are great mantras.
And also a phrase that is so important for me is like, you are creating your reality. So you are in control of your life. You are that, you know, like every time things are not going okay, so why are you bringing this experience into your reality? You don't want this experience, shift it. You know, you're creating it. How can you shift it? So it's just like trying to keep the positive mindset. And I would give just a simple example, like, you know, you always are in control of your life, even if you feel that you're not. It's not true. If it rains, you know, it's an outer circumstance you cannot control. It's raining. It's the weather. You can't really control the weather, but you can control how you react to that rain. You can either decide to go and sing in the rain, or you can decide to stay at home and get bitter. You always have a choice for everything.
It's very true.
So I would close with that.
Yeah, no, that's really beautiful.
You always have a choice. So what are you choosing, and where are you choosing from?
I like that.
Yeah.
So how can listeners reach you if they want to maybe set up a cacao ceremony or a session with you or learn more about you?
And they can reach me through Instagram, Mariana7, or they can reach me through my email, mariana.love7@gmail.com, or there's my, I don't know, phone number. Maybe they're on the bio if you want to put it. Like they can contact me through Insta. It's probably the easiest way.
Yeah, I'll have your Instagram in the comments for this video. Thank you so much for being here today and sharing your story.
Thank you for having me and for inviting me. It's been very special to meet you. And we did share a very special ceremony, and I was so grateful to have found you there. And I feel very honored that you have me here and you wanted to share all of this with other people. Thank you for that. Really appreciate it. And I just hope this is just the beginning of a nice friendship we'll have.
Yes, I definitely agree. Well, thank you everybody so much for listening today too, and have a great day.
Thank you.
I look into your eyes.